Oh, here's a good dog. This is Norman. He worked as a therapy dog at a hospital in Australia for 7 years. A big crowd came out to give him a rock star send-off. This happened earlier this week as Norman heads into retirement. After all his good work, everybody's on their feet giving him a standing O. Aww.
Hey, again, value of dogs. We talked about this yesterday on the show. You know, and I'm a little jealous that you get to retire after 7 years. That's a nice life. He's done some amazing work. It's amazing what dogs can do, especially in that environment. Yeah.
That's the truth. They can do things that humans just can't do, and I think that's one of the reasons we love them so much.
Exactly. Exactly. All right, everybody. Thanks for being with us here on Afternoon Focus. Let's begin, as we always do here, with stories from the very top of our feed on this Wednesday. And we start with history being made on the diamond tomorrow when the Major League Baseball season begins.
That's right. Melissa Lambert will be the first woman to be on the Major League on-field staff in the history of the Kansas City Royals. Her role for the team is also groundbreaking. She's the director of behavioral science, and she's the first person in baseball to hold that role and to be in the dugout during the games. This is all part of the team's focus on mental health and its role in performing at a high level. And she told MLB.com that players may feel more comfortable talking to her in their environment than in an office setting. So bring the therapy to them. How cool is that?
That's awesome, too. And you think about, I mean, listen, I think we glamorize and celebrate our athletes, rightfully so. You know, I mean, everyone loves football or baseball or whatever you're into, but that life can be tough.
Sure.
The pressure, you know, you're making good money, and that brings is a good thing, but brings a set of problems, and then expectations from family and fans. And so someone that you kind of talk to who's there in the dugout, I think kind of makes sense. It fits, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's like you just turn right to her if she's there. You know, whatever is on your mind, whatever's causing you stress, whatever you need some help with, and then you don't have to go seek it out. So this is really a genius move. My goodness.
And shattering a ceiling on top of that, too.
True.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yes. You know, and the Major League Baseball spring training is also wrapping up with opening day coming on Thursday. And we found out that there is a very sweet story happening in San Francisco.
Indeed. Longtime pitcher Sergio Romo is retiring. He was signed to a temporary contract so he could retire as a Giant since he helped them win 3 championships. And when he took the mound for the last time Monday night, he was wearing a very special cap. Take a look. Those are the signatures of kids who asked Romo for his autograph during spring training. That's right. Each time, a kid would ask for his signature, he would ask them for theirs. And then it ended up on that hat he wore for his very last time. That's beautiful. Those kids must be thrilled to know that.
Right? I just got chills. As you were telling the story, I just got chills because I don't think I've ever seen that from any kind of celebrity, no matter what area you work in. Here, you know, he's in athletics, but I mean, to want the children's signatures so he could hold on to a little piece of that memory with them.
And that hat will always have just a great memory. You know what I mean? Not just because, hey, these kids are big fans, but this is my last, game before I retire. That's nice. That's really nice. Yeah. See, some celebrities charge you for their autograph. Meanwhile, he's getting his fans' autographs and wearing it. That's awesome. So, congrats to him and happy retirement. Yeah. Well, moving from pictures to pictures, every photograph, of course, captures a very special moment in time. The best of them remind us of those we love.
Yes, and we usually think that means other people, but what if a picture can help us love ourselves? Jayean Kim is in Kansas City, where a special group of women is finding out just how powerful that can be.
And look right at me with your eyes.
In this moment,
child, you are gorgeous. My goodness.
All the walls are coming down. Photographer Kiana Pitchford is trying to capture who her client is, her beauty, wisdom, trials, and resilience. What's on the inside?
To me, every wrinkle tells a story. Every scar tells a story. Every subtle tell, the way you move your hands, the way you move your face and your body, like all of that is very poetic to me.
For Women's History Month, Pitchford is launching 40 over 40.
Hold it right there.
She's taking portraits of women in our community so that they can look back and remember this moment, who they were, and how that was enough.
It feels great. It's so freeing, right? To know that you can do that, but not that you can, you should.
Latasha Morris tells me she thought her life would be figured out by 40. And now that she's here, it wasn't so much about checking off the boxes, but more so how you feel about yourself.
It is a confidence, right? Like, I am who I am. I know who I am. I feel good about who I am. I feel good about where I'm at.
Pitchford says so many women go through transitions in life and tend to feel forgotten as they age.
This is who I am at 70.
She told us about the power of a portrait and what it's done to help people like Deborah Doyle come back to herself.
Now, at this age, it's okay for me to release this woman, this power, and not be afraid or be concerned about what people think. What's important is that I'm happy. No, I take that back. That I'm joyous.
All 40 portraits will be showcased in a gallery this November. Her final message to the women in her life?
You can rewrite your story at any time.
Oh,
Such a great piece.
love it. Yes.
Two things. Let's applaud the idea of 40 over 40.
Yes.
All the lists people do, under 30, under 40. Well, you know what? And that's all well and good, the up and comers. But here's to the over 40 crowd that you can do a lot and be a lot. And let's celebrate that. Number two, that woman in that piece said something very powerful. This is who I am. Right. And I do think it takes time and age and experience to get you to a mental place where you can say comfortably and confidently, this is who I am.
Right.
And I love that she said that, because that to me encapsulated the entire piece. Here it is. Boom. Take the photo. This is what you got.
Right.
Yeah.
And then everything about you at that moment in time tells a story. I like how she was saying, everything about us, maybe, wrinkles, a scar, all these things show what we've been through, what we've accomplished, who we are. And I like that woman being photographed who said, and your story doesn't have to change, it doesn't have to stay the same. It can change.
Yeah.
Your story can change at any moment. Every day that you're blessed to be alive, you get a chance to continue writing your story. So this is a really cool opportunity for these women to be empowered, and we loved it from start to finish. That was just one of the best pieces I've seen us have.
Oh, yeah. Great message and empowering, which is all good. So bravo to all the women in that story. So with that, let's switch gears a little bit. Time to get your popcorn ready. We're going to bring you a few quick stories that are just fun to know, one of our favorite segments of the show. And we close out this Women's History Month with some nuggets to know, starting with the fact that each year Women's History Month has a theme. I didn't know that. This year celebrated women who are active in all forms of media, a business close to our heart.
To our hearts, yes, it is. Right? And with that in mind, it's fun to know that starting in March of 1933, First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt held press conferences exclusively for female reporters, and she would cover issues that are aimed at women. And over the 12 years of her time as First Lady, she held 348 press conferences for female reporters. That's a lot of press conferences. And how cool is that?
That's more than some presidents have had. Number one. But and it's also funny, just historical purposes, to hear in her 12 years as First Lady, right? Things have changed now that we only allow a max of 8, but different time, different era, but 12 years as First Lady.
Wow.
Can you imagine that job?
No, oh my
12
gosh,
years?
the pressure.
But
that's really cool she did that.
Very nice.
And we can't talk about all this, of course, without talking about the great Helen Thomas.
Indeed. Thomas was the first woman to serve as chief White House correspondent when she earned that title from UPI back in 1970. It's fun to know she was the only reporter with her own seat in the White House briefing room. And when Fidel Castro was asked the difference between, quote, democracy in Cuba and democracy in the United States, he responded, quote, I don't have to answer questions from Helen Thomas. You definitely know her work. You know that face. She was an icon of the press corps in D.C. for sure. The late, great Helen Thomas, trailblazer and a brilliant journalist.
Definitely.
Ask the tough questions to those guys at the podium.
We're going to continue the conversation on trailblazers now. We all know that Sally Ride was the first female astronaut in space, but she was not the first woman to pass the astronaut test.
Oh, that honor belongs to Geraldine Jerry Cobb. However, she was not allowed into space, because of her gender. So she turned her passion for flying into 30 years of helpful mission work, piloting planes full of supplies to indigenous tribes in South America. And that work got her various honors, including, no less, the Nobel Peace Prize nomination.
Wow.
Amazing. And I don't want to let the conversation veer too far away from pioneers in media without giving a rightful shout out to late great Barbara Walters, who we lost recently to. Talk about a trailblazer and a woman in media. Every powerful woman you see in media today is standing on the shoulders of Barbara Walters, who had an extraordinary life and did many first and did it for decades as well as anybody else. So just want to add her to the convo.
Glad you did, Rob.
As a former ABC newser, so
she paved the way.
She did
for all of us. She really did.
Yes. So yes.
She is missed, and certainly her legacy is living on.
Oh yes, absolutely. So sleep well to all those icons and pioneers. We're going to squeeze in a quick break right now, but coming up, the reason behind a couple's last-minute wedding venue choice.
We were going to try to elope, and then, here we are. So, I mean, we're glad that everybody can see family's important.
Thanks for staying with us. So do you recognize this bridge? Well, it is the Bixby Creek Bridge near Monterey, California, and travelers have been enthralled with it ever since it opened in 1937, and it towers 280 feet above a steep canyon carved by Bixby Creek. And it's made TV appearances and movie appearances. Think Big Little Lies and Escape to Witch Mountain. You've seen it there.
Well, there is no shortage of beauty in the state of California. I know they're always in the news for the torrential rain and, the wildfires and all that stuff, but it really is just a spectacularly beautiful place, and yet another example right there. All right, our next story, pretty amazing right here. Planning weddings, of course, looks different for each and every couple. Everyone kind of puts their own spin on it, but one thing lovebirds need when they say I do is a venue.
Right, and the couple you're about to meet tied the knot at a special place so that a very special woman could attend the big day. Mary O'Connell is sharing the story from Tampa Bay, Florida.
Tina Pierce will tell you her mom, Linda Tuller, is her best friend.
I couldn't do it without her, and that's why we're here.
So imagining one of the biggest days of her life without her mom by her side wasn't in the cards.
We were supposed to get married up in her room, and that was it. And then they did all this, and it was amazing.
Pierce decided to hold a last-minute wedding so her 74-year-old mom, who is receiving hospice care, could be there too. She said it took staff at Manatee Springs Rehabilitation and Nursing Center in Bradenton just 2 days to pull it all off.
We were going to try to elope, and then, here we are. So, I mean, we're glad that everybody can see family's important.
So in a short ceremony,
will you have Tina to be your wedding wife?
With family and friends gathered around,
just then you may kiss your bride.
This special day became even more memorable.
This is when she couldn't miss.
And if you ask Linda how she feels bringing new family into the fold, she'll put it plainly.
Because I've got a new son-in-law, and I think I love him.
Oh, that's amazing. And that's the end of the day. People get so stressed about weddings, the cake, the seating arrangements, the music, the dress, Right. It just matters that you're celebrating love and surrounded by it, and they accomplish that, and boom, 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 beautiful day. Yeah.
You're right, Rob. At the end of the day, that's what it's all about. The person you love and being with the people that you love.
Yes. That's it. No matter what else. Everything else is secondary to that. Yeah.
It is. No, it is. Okay, as I was watching that, I mean, thank goodness that the happy couple was able to have, her mom there. You could tell that obviously meant a lot. I'm watching them, and I just have to say it in case anybody else was thinking this, but I was getting such Jason Aldean vibes from the groom there with that cowboy hat. He was giving me Jason Aldean there. And I'm wondering if anybody else at home thought he looked like Jason Aldean.
I'm going
do you
to
see it?
Google Jason Aldean and let you know if I say tell people who he is while I Google.
He's a very famous country artist. I've seen him twice in concert. He puts on a great show. Super talented. And he's usually got the facial hair. He's got light eyes.
Oh, I see it.
The cowboy hat's kind of his signature look. Do you see it?
I see it. I did. You know what? You're right. I Googled him. Nice to meet you, Jason. There, yeah.
That guy's his doppelganger.
You want to zoom in? I don't know whatever. Just a quick Google search, Jason Aldean.
Rob, you need to listen to some Aldean. I got to send you a playlist or
send me a link or something.
Yeah.
I see why your mind went there.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, there's a really good duet that him and Carrie Underwood did not too
Oh, so I
long
know
ago.
Carrie Underwood.
So good.
I don't have to
Oh
Google
yeah,
her.
love her.
All right,
Oh my
see?
God, love her. Yeah.
All is not
We'll
lost.
talk about her another day. Yeah, she's fantastic.
Well, coming up, we are spotlighting, I should say, problem solvers aiming to give educators in America a little more freedom.
Oh, welcome back. Well, as a country, we know we've been struggling with a teaching shortage, fewer people entering the teaching profession, and COVID-19 only exacerbated the existing crisis.
An already tough job, and then boom, pandemic, right? Well, states are now coming together in a new way to combat the problem. Jesse Cohen shows us how they're working to eliminate barriers for teachers moving to new states.
So the next part of class, we're going to be, once again, moving around.
Across the U.S., school districts are grappling with teacher shortages.
It has a major impact on students, but also on educators. Workload has increased significantly.
Colorado is just one state feeling the limited numbers.
Personally, at my school right now, we are short one special ed teacher, and next year that's going to be 2 special ed teachers if we can't hire. All of our high schools are missing a special ed teacher at the moment.
Lori Cooper is now a special ed instructor in Colorado, but her teaching journey started in Florida.
So I had to take 4 tests there to prove I was worthy of being a teacher, pay all my licensure things in Florida, and I got a 5-year professional certificate.
She moved from Florida to Tennessee, where they accepted her previous tests and license. But when she came to Colorado, that wasn't the case.
But it's at great time and cost to have to do these. Each test costs between $150 and $180 that I have to take. They take many hours, plus all the practice, and it's hard. I mean, it makes you feel like they don't trust you as a professional.
Cooper put in the time, the money, took the tests, and got the proper licenses required in Colorado. But Colorado State Representatives Megan Lukens and Mary Young say other teachers in similar situations end up never teaching. It's part of the reason the state is now part of the Interstate Teacher Mobility Compact.
It streamlines the process and eliminates barriers for teachers that want to move into the state of Colorado.
Already we have, we believe, 9 other states moving forward with legislation like we are, and 10 states are required for the compact to be initiated.
State Senator Janice Marchman says that so far, Utah and Colorado are the first to legally enact the compact, in which states agree to recognize each other's licensing. Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, Georgia, Florida, Kentucky, Ohio, and Indiana are all working on it, and it's making progress with support from both parties.
This is a pretty non-partisan issue. This is really a practical issue of getting gaps filled in states and getting people to work.
So we need to be able to get these states on board and say, hey, look, you pass those tests in your state. All right, that's good enough for us.
Wow.
It makes sense, right? If there's a shortage, make it easier. People who are, you know, determined enough to stick to that very tough profession and often underpaid profession.
Right.
You know, to go, yeah, absolutely. Like, let's make it easier. Clear some of that red tape.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, the reciprocity, I mean, that seems like such a no-brainer to me. You know, it makes me think of something similar, you know, with a law license. You know, we know states are sovereign, of course, and it's going to be particular to a state, but that can be really frustrating in the legal profession as well, as I'm sure it is in the teaching profession. You relocate, and suddenly what? You have to retake, you know, all of your testing and you know, when there's no substitute for experience that these teachers have and they're bringing to the table.
And
so,
is the way they teach algebra in Colorado really that different than the way they teach it in Pennsylvania?
Exactly.
Yeah, you know, so anyway, and people who love teaching are good, and we need many of them to stick with it. So good. You know,
make it easier for them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bipartisan support for that plan. All right, stick around. You're not going to believe what this raccoon got her hands on.
Oh, check out this sly raccoon. He's getting a late night snack.
I think the raccoon and the dog, they must be in cahoots here. Look at it. Only takes 1 liter of the pack. Oh.
Ew.
All right, so I need a backstory, though. Did that raccoon find a way inside the house, or like? And then
how did he get in there? I mean,
I have questions. I need
he a
to know
pet?
more.
Could he be a pet? Some
hope
people.
not.
I mean, yeah.
It really
I don't
shouldn't
know.
be.
But what was he eating? Was that cream cheese or yogurt?
Oh, whatever it is.
Cream cheese, our producers are telling. Looks like strawberry cream cheese. You would have to disinfect that whole fridge, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would move.
Oh.
That's our show for today. But we do want to hear from you as always.
Please send us your ideas on Facebook. We'll look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow afternoon. Same time, same couch.